Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Mustafa Hosseini, and today I have another amazing guest and an amazing topic. Welcome, Jeanna.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Great to have you. My guest is Jeanna Gabellini, and today we're having a friendly conversation on how to design an online course, event, or group program that sells out every time you launch it. So I'm do a quick intro about me, who I am, and what we do, and we'll dive right into it. My name is Mustafa Hosseini, and I specialize in helping coaches, consultants, and experts create and implement their one-page marketing plan in 7 days or less. We do that through our program, Simple Marketing Formula. And a problem that we solve is that I see a lot of coaches and consultants that are poking around at different marketing ideas, tools, and softwares and systems aimlessly without a goal and a plan, which is causing in a lot of failure and frustration and anxiety because of the lack of results that they see. So we fix that through our course and bootcamp Simple Marketing Formula. And I'll share with you more on that later in the day. So let me do a proper intro with Jeanna, and we're going to dive in right into it. And we are going to be doing some giveaways. Jeanna didn't know that she's going to be giving away some stuff, but we're live now. I don't think she could say no to that. Anyway, so for you to qualify and to enter into our draw, you got to be commenting on the show, asking questions about what we talk about, or tag a friend who you think could benefit from launching and selling out a program that they're getting out into the market. Okay, so Jeanna Gabellini is a master business coach and chief Rabble Rouser of MasterPeace Coaching. Jeanna, I will ask you to explain what that means later. After 20 plus years of liberating business owners from the curse of not enough and the myth of hard work pays off, she knows without a question you can make massive amounts of money and impact millions, even if you've been struggling for years, if you're willing to flip the switch in your thinking, chuck the old school rules in the toilet, and stay true to what lights you up and turns you on. Welcome, Jeanna.
Thank you for having me. We're going to have fun.
Yes, it's great to have you. So, Jeanna, please tell us about your story. What is your story?
My story. I was a serial entrepreneur, but I really didn't care about making money at that when I was young. So it's like, yeah, let's just make what we need and let's just go have fun. And then at some point I decided, yeah, that's not really getting me anywhere. And I used to work for a seminar company who did personal growth seminars, and I did coaching, but then someone told me about the Coaches Training Institute. I'm like, yeah, show me something I don't already know. I know how to coach. And boy, did they show me something. I'm like, oh, I see why my coaching clients were like, wait, oh my God, you're like making me go too fast. And I'm like, you said you wanted this. Let's go. Come on. It's like, oh, you got to meet the client where they're at. It's not just about ass kicking. Okay, I could do this. And I opened my business and I fell in love, and the rest is history. I did change niches a few times. So I finally found the thing I want to do most is just focusing on business owners and helping them make client attraction easy and opening them up to receive wealth, because even though they say they want it, most people just, man, they sabotage the heck out of themselves, as I'm sure you've probably seen.
Fantastic. So, could you tell us more about your target market, your niche, and who you serve?
Yeah. So mostly, not all, but mostly serve people, entrepreneurs, mostly solopreneurs. Maybe they have a small team who have either plateaued or they're ready to just, they're like, yeah, this is good. And I just want to up level in a massive way. So my job is, how easy can we make it? How fun can we make it? And how can we create the systems that do most of the work for you?
Beautiful. So I know before I dig more into the business questions, let's talk more about what you do for fun. What is it that you do for fun?
Well, I just got off the water. I'm looking at the water right in front of me. I'm at my lake cabin, which is a dream come true. And I just got done water skiing right before this. I just brushed my hair and here I am.
Love it. I love that. It's like you just got out of water. You're probably you said you're in your bathing suit already.
I'm in my bathing suit. I just put on a little cover up thing and I'm like, yeah, we're not going to come get all dolled up for this because we're going to go right back out to the water when we're done.
Love it. Let's keep the fun up and keep moving forward. Love, love, love. Amazing. What else do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
Hobbies, snow skiing. That's what we do all winter. Water skiing, anything out on the water, the boat. I love my family so much, not just like my kids, but my mom and my dad. So anytime I can be with my family, I'm a happy girl. I actually don't care what we're doing, is the honest to goodness truth.
Beautiful. So the and by the way, I'm also a skier and I'm a level 2 ski instructor myself. And I just teach skiing for fun as a volunteer up here in Calgary, Alberta. So maybe you should go skiing sometime. And
We absolutely should.
have you ever been up here? Have you skied up here in Banff?
I have not, but I have a friend up there near there, and I keep promising that someday I'm going to come there.
Maybe the two of us will pull you up here for the
There
winter.
you go.
So,
Yeah.
with the people that you work with, what do you teach them? What is it that you help them with?
Well, I think that in general, people make client attraction and marketing, like they just lump it all into one thing. And I think there's a lot of resistance to marketing. People are trying to get it right. They think it needs to be perfect. They work way too hard. And I think marketing should be a form of love. It's a love connection between you and your future clients. So I help people make it easy. So we do a lot of, I love systems. I love marketing. I love launching. I'm a weirdo. Um, but the reason why it's fun is because it's all inner game. So a lot of what we do, people don't expect it. They're like, come into a program. They're like, oh, you're going to teach me to do a lead magnet or an online launch. And by the way, we're going to work on your inner game, because if you don't fuel every move that you're making in your marketing, if it's not what you're thinking and what you're doing isn't aligned with, a client wait list, let's say, then you're going to do a lot of work and get okay results.
Right.
We don't want we want more than enough. We want badassery. We want you to be like, oh my God, so many clients are saying yes. This is so much fun. That's how it should be. So that's what we do.
Absolutely. Love it. April here says, my first time catching you live, says meeting you during Rich German's Collaborate event yesterday. We were out at Collaborate. We're actually going to go there later today, and that's where your name came up a few times.
Well, he asked me to be a guest tomorrow on a panel. And I said, Rich, I'm going to be up at the cabin. There's no Wi-Fi. Today it's good. Tomorrow, I won't be able to get on. So I said, oh, sorry.
Love it. So I love what you're doing with the mindset, and it is a big deal. And I do see a lot of people complicating the whole process. That's why I run my course, Simple Marketing Formula. We say, let's simplify this whole thing on one page. Tell me, what is the one lead generation strategy that you're working on? What is one lead conversion strategy? And what is one lead client retention strategy? We're all about simplicity and keeping it, down to one page. Because when it gets complicated, people don't do it. Right?
And they won't look at it again. If it's longer
Exactly.
if it looks like a book, it feels like work.
Yeah, they don't. It's usually sitting there collecting dust if it turns into a 50-page marketing plan.
Yeah.
So why is it that you love launches? And I know that it's not the norm these days in the industry. Why do you love launches? Before you answer that, one sec.
Yeah.
What is a launch? Tell us about what actually is a launch.
Yeah. So a launch is something that you do that has a beginning and an end to promote something online. You're creating a massive buzz, and what your goal is to attract a lot of clients all at once. I mostly launch programs. So for me, it's usually programs. I'll do events, but always online. I don't do any in-person stuff. Because when I do in-person stuff, I always think, man, I could be water skiing right now. I don't want to be inside. I'd rather teach for a couple hours and then go be outside. But it's a very specific short time. I personally say no more than 15, 16 days max. I try to do shorter, but it's this event where you are turning people's head, showing them a new perspective, a new way of doing something with free content that creates this excitement. And then by the time you say, and here's the next step, which is my offer, they're like, I don't even care what it is. Yes. I just was watching someone's launch a couple of weeks ago. I was so into it. It was Father's Day. And my husband said, hey, I want to go to Costco. Let's go get some fresh stuff to barbecue tonight. I said, I have to be at 1 o'clock at home because he's going to announce the offer. And whatever it is, I don't even know what it is. I'm buying it. And that's what you want people to feel. I'm like, this guy's doing a good job because I'm on the edge of my seat going, I don't care what he's selling. I don't care how much it is. I'm in. And
Love it.
that's how you want your people to feel.
Beauty. So then,
go ahead.
Why is it that some people are scared of launching?
Well, I was scared of launching. I thought, because I had heard so many people, I was in masterminds with colleagues who would say, oh my gosh, I just did a 7-figure launch. It was so stressful. I'm never doing one again. And then that person's assistant was sitting there and she's like, you'll do one again because the money's so good. And I thought, oh, if it's that stressful, I'm never doing a big launch. I swore off of them. I'm like, hell no. If that is, it's not worth it to me. And then I was talking to someone about it on my marketing team, and they said, Jeanna, the only reason people stress out is because they don't plan ahead. I said, really? Like, we could have fun and do a launch? He said, yeah, you like to plan ahead. Let's just plan it out ahead. And I did. And I have to tell you, shockingly, to my surprise, it was the most fun I have ever had in my business ever, because I see launches are a way to tap into your creativity. They're a way to support people to get better results. Even if they don't say yes to you, they walk away with a good taste in their mouth because you just gave them so much amazing content. They're in love with you. So if they don't buy now, they'll buy later. Don't worry.
Got it. So what are some of the top two or three things that people do that they do it wrong when they launch or when they try to launch, other than planning ahead?
Yeah. Planning ahead is a big one. I mean, it's huge. Even though I tell people this, I watch them in my program. They're like, all of a sudden they procrastinated. And then they're like, I'm just going to slam this together. I'm like, oh, this is not a good breeding ground. Because what happens is when you rush, unless you can be in the flow and do it. I mean, I've whipped out launches in less than 2 days and had 5-figure launches, 6-figure launches. However, you've got to come into it like, this is an experiment. Let's see what happens. I think the other thing is, don't do it for the money. Of course, yes, we want to make a lot of money. But if you do it only for the money, you're going to be uptight. You're going to be attached. You're going to start stressing out if people don't buy immediately. And the whole thing's going to be a shit show. You're going to feel terrible. It's not going to feel fun. You're going to make poor decisions because, oh my God, nobody's buying. I did something wrong. This is not going to work. It's going to be a failure. And you just get into this whole mindset where it's all about you instead of your future clients that you want to serve. So yeah, planning, sucky money mindset, attachment, attached to it working, afraid of failure, and rushing. All of those things make for a really bad launch. I mean, there's obviously other things that we need to do. Like, hey, we need to make sure that we've got the right topic, the right offer for your right people. Your marketing message is clear. I don't know, you've probably seen this too, where if someone doesn't have a really specific niche, maybe they help people find their passion, or they do something that feels like more of a soft promise. A lot of times they get into these really intangible ways of explaining it, and that you hear them say what the promise of their offer is. And I'm like, I don't even know what you just said. Like, intuitively I do, but that was so like a riddle that I have to figure out. And if you have to make people work to figure it out, they're not going to buy.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we work on with our students as well, to help them clarify exactly what they mean. We call it our strategic tagline. It's like, so in a few words. So for example, my strategic tagline is, I help coaches create their one-page marketing plan in 7 days or less. You know exactly what I do, who I serve, and what the outcome is. Sometimes people, like you said, make vague statements and you have no clue what they do and who they serve. And they wonder why business is not working.
Yeah, they're too, and a lot of people get into their head. They're such an expert at what they do. They forget that, hey, it's hard for a potential client to track with you. We have to dumb it down, not because our clients are dumb, because you're speaking in all this code about your expertise, and we don't know what the heck you're talking about.
Absolutely. And then, so why, how do I ask this question? So why do you think some people do 6 or 7 figure launches and some others get nothing or very little when they do a launch?
Yeah, this is pure inner game because this completely impacts the strategic plan. But the reason why people don't do a six-figure launch is simply they are not expecting it. They might say they want one, but not in their heart of hearts. They don't believe it. They're scrambling and they're not taking the steps to ensure that they have a six-figure launch. Like if I think I'm going to do a six-figure launch and I've never done one before, let's say I've never even done a five-figure launch. And I will say that the first time I did a six-figure launch, I had never made anywhere close to that before. I had done tons of program launches where maybe after working for 2 months and promoting for 2 months, I maybe made low five figures. So going from that to six figures was definitely like, yeah, I have no idea if this is going to happen, but I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure it does. It's going to be an experiment. And if I'm thinking this is going to be a six-figure launch, what are the things I will put in place? Who can I get to help me? And how will I invest my time and my money to make sure that that does happen? You don't you don't wing it to get a six-figure launch. It's totally intentional. It's completely planned. And it doesn't have to be hard. Like it wasn't hard for me the first time. It was a ton of fun, but I kept checking in. Okay, this one move I'm doing right here, this one tactic, would I be doing it the same way? Would I be coming at it the same way if I was expecting a six-figure launch? Would I
Love
be
it.
trusting myself and my copy? Would I be getting someone to proof it? Like you up your level, your game because you know you can because you're going to make six figures on the other side, right? You
Absolutely.
take the time to be like, I'm going to feel into this copy. Does that feel like it's going to connect with my five-star client? By the way, I call your perfect client your five-star client. See, there was me in my lingo, but that's what people do, right? They forget to explain it. Your five-star client is your perfect client for you in every way. They're pre-wired to want what you want. And so if you come into it like that, you're going to trust yourself instead of worrying about all the little pieces and the little particles.
Love it, love it, love it. For those of you who have joined us or are joining us later, my guest is Jeanna Gabellini, and we're talking about how to design an online course, event, or group program that sells out every time you launch it. This is an exciting and interesting topic because a lot of coaches, consultants, and experts are trying to launch their program, but they're not doing it successfully. So we're talking about what it takes to actually have a successful launch and a successful program that is sold out basically every time you launch it. So Jeanna, what is actually the best way to plan? And I'm a huge planner. I'm all about planning and knowing exactly what you're gonna do on how to get there, make it clear at here's the step-by-step process on we're gonna get there. Because like you said about the vision, if we don't know how we're some people say I want $1 million, but they never think about how to get it. It's like, what does it take to get there? What is the mindset required for me to get $1 million? They're just keep running around and saying, I want $1 million, I want $1 million, but they never sit down and create a plan on how to get there. So, what is, in your experience, the best way to plan to have a sold out event, program, or product?
Yeah, I don't actually start with the money. I usually tell people we need to start with what do your clients want right now? Like even if you're not going to go out and interview them. You could, but you've been working with people long enough. You have intuition. I call it your inner business expert. You know how to tap in and say, you know what? What am I noticing right now? What are my people really wanting? What do they think they want? Not what you think that they need. You can serve them up what they need. But really, if the topic doesn't speak to exactly what they want right now, they're not, it's going to be a disconnect. And I think it takes education and knowing that you're going to need to educate people, even if you think like, of course, they all want this. You still need to educate them in the marketing process about, ooh, why this is a benefit to you is because that's exact. I told you I bought from this other guy who was launching. I wasn't looking for what he was offering. I hadn't planned on using it was a marketing strategy, but he so sold me on the benefits of this strategy. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to become the queen of this strategy. This looks like so much fun. And he sold me on the idea of it. And yes, he taught me a lot about it, but he really sold me on the idea of it, not in a pushy way, but in an exciting way. So if we don't start with the right topic and the right 5-star client and the right language to describe it, you'll never sell it out, no matter how good it is, no matter how good it is. And I think it also, we need to also look at pricing. When I said money mindset before, will crush a launch. Our money mindset about our pricing, second guessing your pricing or dumbing down your pricing, making it lower because you like, I don't believe anybody will buy at this other price. You've already started the whole thing from a place of lack. You're pretending like you're not a badass. You've made up a story that your 5-star clients are going to see the value in what you do. So it's already your indicator that, yeah, results about sold out. Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. And I think a lot of people are also scared when they think online launch. They think, oh, well, I'll send a few emails out. Maybe if I have an email list, or maybe I'll post some things on social media. No, if you're going all in, like you're going to sell it out every single day of that launch and that, 1 to 2 week period, you are going to be like, this is the most important thing, you future clients. You need to see this. And I am helping you. I am not bugging you. No matter, people know they have to get the word out, but they still think they're bugging people, or that if you just, post something a few times that people will get it. No, online is crazy busy. People are scrolling. We need to help them remember this thing is even happening. We have to keep connecting them back to why this thing is so amazing and how it's going to help them. We need to get them committed to the goal. So you're not bugging, you are helping people. You're helping.
Love it. So you spoke about you got to know what your clients want, and then I guess we would turn around and offer them what they want, not what I want. What is the process? How do you exactly know what they want? How do you do that?
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan, and even people who've never done this before end up really liking it. I'm a big fan of journaling prompts where you get a question, right? And you just start free flowing. Get your head out of the way because your head is going to screw things up. So we need to drop down into thy heart and say, what are my 5-star clients really craving? What do they want most right now? What are they thinking about? What are they wishing for if they had the genie lamp and they would be like, poof, I wish I could just have this. And as an example, and then you start writing. So I remember I had this download into my head about it. I was working with all these clients. We would map out their strategy and for their business. And then they would get in this whole thing about money and value, and it would get in their way. And I started getting mad. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're not getting anywhere. And this is like every client I'm bumping up against this. I need to teach a program on that. And so I got this download. It was going to be called Profit Quest. We launched it very successfully. It was a 6-figure launch several years in a row. And then one year it just went backwards. And I was at a mastermind sitting with very amazing people. One of them, I was a little nervous to sit. He was sitting right next to me. And it was Reed Tracy, CEO of Hay House Publishing. And he said, so Jeanna, what was the thing that you just launched? And I'm talking about it and talking about it. And he's like, I still don't understand what it's about. Like, you're talking about the features, you're talking about some of the benefits, but I was doing the thing that people do, right? I'm talking about this thing that they can't connect with. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm doing that thing. I
Yeah.
said, I need to go home and re-examine what is it that they really want. So
Mm-hmm.
much so that I realized even the name of it was wrong. My clients don't sit there at night and think about, if I could only make more profits. They don't even use that word. Some of them might. They think about, I just want more clients, because they know clients equal more money. They know they need to make money, but the thing they say over and over is like, God, I wish I could just have clients rolling in so I could just not worry about this marketing thing. Like, oh my gosh, I've even got the wording all wrong. And I think the reason why I even got to six figures in my launches was I was so passionate about it that people would just say yes to my energy. You can get a lot wrong, by the way, when your energy's right. I was clear they needed it. I was clear it was going to be a six-figure launch. However, that was only going to get me so far. It was only going to get my nearest and dearest, circle of clients. And at some point it is going to peter out. And so we changed the name of it. It's called 5-Star Client Formula now, which is the thing I talk about all the time. And it speaks to what they really want. It's a way to get all the clients you want without doing crap you hate.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what my clients want. They don't care about profits and quests. What does a quest even mean?
Tell us about the mindset and attitude, the attitude piece and the mindset piece, and what people usually get wrong. And by the way, well, welcome, Heather. It's good to see you. And what they get wrong, and how do we go about fixing the mindset? Because that's not an easy fix. I mean, if you've been thinking in a certain way for like 20 or 30 years, and now all of a sudden you're like, something is, I mean, the first step I think is to come to the realization that I don't have the right mindset. And then you go about changing it. And then I think it takes a while for us to change the mindset.
It takes a while. However, you can use whatever you're launching as your incubator for doing exactly that. There's nothing like an online launch of whatever you're launching to push all your buttons. It's just going to happen. It still does it for me. I'm in the middle of launching something right now, and it's a completely different thing than I've ever done. And I'm like, am I crazy for doing this? Like, why didn't I just stick to the other model that worked so good? But I felt inspired to do it. So the thing that people get wrong is when you're inspired about it, you do need to trust from the beginning. If you were inspired to do it, it is the right and perfect thing. For you to launch, the perfect way for you to launch. It doesn't mean that you won't change things and tweak things along the way, but you need to trust your inner guidance. If you feel the strong pull to do it, you will be given the resources in order to make it happen. So A, trust that. 2, even if you're a complete newbie, trust that your idea, the value, and the expertise you're going to deliver is enough for your 5-star clients. You just listening to people, you creating a container for people to be present would be enough without any content. But most people are always wondering, is it enough? Are people going to see value? And then they overwork when they finally make the offer, they make the pitch, they overwork it. They're tense. They're in their head talking about it instead of just coming from their heart. Like I used to follow scripts and take forever to script videos and have a whole team come in. And I stopped doing that a couple of years ago. And I realized, when I just come from my heart on video and I connect to what is the power of this offer. And if I just pretend that they are already 5-star clients, they've already said yes, how would I communicate the message? Totally different. I'd be relaxed. I wouldn't have to power my way through it. And my clients would feel the energy. They would actually hear what I'm saying because it's coming from my heart instead of this person who's trained too hard. I also believe that you would trust your pricing, you would trust your timing, and you would show up in all of your power when you're writing copy, when you're choosing your strategies, when a client asks, hey, is this the right thing for me? You're not pushing them into it. You're helping them discover, is it right or not? And it's okay if they say no. So it just changes the whole way you approach every single thing. And when you're in your head, what that tells you is, I'm not trusting myself. And if you're not trusting yourself, how can your potential clients trust you? They can't. You're all wobbly and shaky on the inside. And they're like, I don't even know. I'm not interested. They may not know why they don't like it, but they'll just go buy from somebody else who does trust themselves.
Love that piece. I mean, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect other people to love you? If you don't trust yourself, how do you expect others to trust you? So love it. And I think that's a big problem with a lot of business owners. And that is they don't believe in the product that they're selling, and they wonder why it's not selling. Like a friend of mine was doing his webinars, and he was telling me that the webinar was not working and it was not selling. And then we start asking him questions, and then at the end, he's like, "Oh, I don't quite believe in what I'm selling." I'm like, I think we found the problem because we were going to go through the webinar slides and the landing page and the whole thing, and figure out what the problem was. And I love your approach on this whole mindset thing. Like, if you don't love yourself, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust the product or believe in the product that you're selling, there is no way on the planet, no way in hell you're going to sell 6 or 7 figures or even 5 figures out of this product, even if you're the best at launching it.
Exactly. And you need to ask yourself, why don't I believe in it? It could be about you, like you just don't believe that you have what it takes. But sometimes it's something simple that you could add to it. Like, I feel like I'm not, like in my case, I sell programs. Oh, I don't think that this is long enough, or I need this other person to come in and be an expert to teach this one piece. Then I feel it will be complete. Great. But if you can articulate what's missing for you, you can fix it. You can fix it, whether it's enter game or an actual something that you need to add or shift, or maybe you're like, yeah, the pricing's off. Well, great. If you need to lower the pricing to match what you believe it can sell at, then by all means do it. But know that you need to work on that piece for yourself so that you can amp it up. Don't just sit there and go like, oh, I'm going to keep it at this price because maybe a coach told me, but I really don't believe in it. And the whole time you're like, oh my gosh, it's too much. People aren't going to buy it that price. Well, then back it down, meet where you're at so that you can believe in it wholeheartedly. There is no shame in backing down your price as long as it's not a pattern. Make sure you work on it so that you can increase the price.
Love it, love it, love it. So, Jeanna, tell us about your program that is starting on Monday, I believe July 13th, correct?
Yeah.
All
So
right, what's happening now?
It's called Sold Out Programs Challenge. And I've never taught it this way. And I think what happens is when people want to learn how to do a program or even an online launch, they're like, okay, I need it to take a long time. There's going to be this long, big learning curve. I'm like, hell no. 5 days, baby. We can do it. Because then your head starts getting in, you start like questioning everything. There's no way it should take that long to create it. So we're creating this incubator. It's actually 10 days. I added in all this bonus training, but it's like, let's make sure I'll show you the easiest way possible to create your hot topic that your 5-star clients want.
Yeah.
We'll look at choosing the perfect format of delivery. Because if you don't like the way that you're delivering it, or like in my case, remember I said I don't like live events because I will sit there after the first day and think, why am I not outside water skiing or something? Yeah, so I know that kind of format doesn't work for me. We need to do the same thing with the format of delivery of your program so that it delivers the results, but you are happy to be there and you feel confident that it's going to do exactly what you want. We're going to look at naming it. We don't want, like we said, we don't want these weird names that your clients can't connect with. We want them to go, oh, just based on the name, I want to know more. Show me the goods. We're going to talk about how to plan for your launch, set your date. We'll show you different formats of simple launches. Because even if you've seen complicated launches and you're like, yeah, I don't ever want to do that, that's too complicated, you don't need to. I've done 5 and 7 day launches that are so simple, incredibly simple to plan for, and they get great results. I'll get 5 and 6 figures. You could absolutely do that. So I'll show you some simple models. We'll wrap it up in a bow with some enter game, 6-figure sold out program mindset, and you'll be off and running.
I love it. So this is going to be like 5 days. People are going to join. The format is, do they need to show up live? Is it like in a Facebook group? Do they get emails? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's going to do live training. I'm going to do my best to keep it short, 15 to 20 minutes. Then I'll be doing Q&A. If you can't be there live, no worries. We will be posting it in a Facebook group. The replays will be up. I'll be sending out emails with the action steps as a recap so that I know a lot of people learn different. We'll have it in writing. There's fillable worksheets. I was just looking at, we finalized the one that we're going to use today. And then there'll be extra bonus training to dial in your pricing. Make sure the money mindset is there so that you can be off and running in your heart, excited as all get out, expecting a sold out event or a program or an online coaching group.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So, gang, for those of you that are listening and watching now, or you're going to listen and watch later, this is going to be an amazing program. Jeanna knows her stuff. She's been at this for a long time. If you uh, are planning to build a course or training or an event, and you want to learn how to set it up, work on the mindset piece, and get it going, and have all the confidence in the world, knowing what you're doing. Again, for me, that confidence piece and the mindset piece is 90% of the game. Once that's working, you'll get it to work. Regardless of because here's what I think: people get stuck on the how to get it done. Like, I need a 372 step webinar funnel, and unless I have it, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? And they're like working on a webinar funnel for 3 years, and they haven't sold a dime worth of their products. I'm like, come on, just get on the phone and sell it to someone. And so the mindset piece is a big piece with which Jeanna and her team are going to work with you on that. I left the link in the comments and in the show notes. If you or someone you know could benefit from this challenge, so what is the cost of getting involved in the challenge?
Yeah, it's 90% off right now. It's only $55, and we're doing 10 days. I will be training live 10 days. My head coach and I will be in the face group coaching. You can get feedback. We're going to do some really special stuff for you to get feedback from your peers too. I mean, it's going to be badass. It's ridiculous investment, but I'm totally pumped.
Love it. Gang, getting 5 or 10 days of live training, working on your mindset, getting directions and proven methods on how to set up your program, your events, and the rest of it is not usually $55.
It's not. It's ridiculous.
It is that's a ridiculous price. Get in there and join the community. And I'm a guy that's all about simplicity and community. I love it when I see things that are simple and there's a community to work with. I'll jump right in. I may very well jump in there myself next week. I think I will, and work with you and work on our program, because we have got launches coming up. And if there is one more piece that I could learn about how to launch or about my own mindset that will help me bring in an additional 5 or 6 figures, I would be crazy to not do that by $55 with an investment.
Yahoo! Come on in. I'm totally excited. I'm so excited. It takes a lot to do this. I'm leaving the lake on Saturday so I can be home to train. I don't want anything messing with my Wi-Fi. I want to be completely present.
Love it, love it, love it. So, Jeanna, we talked about giving away 1 free ticket. Are you open to that?
I am open to that, and he is not lying. I had no idea we were going to do this.
Yes, I was not. So, people that have commented either on the live show or later or are watching right now, their name gets entered into a draw for a free ticket to Jeanna's challenge.
Sold out programs.
Sold out programs. I love the name of it. It's like, you know what it means, when what it does. Sold out programs. It's like, anyway, so you get entered into a draw, and I will throw in a free ticket to my workshop, Simple Marketing Formula, for those that comment, ask a question, and or tag a friend who will need this sold out program launches, which I think every coach or business owner needs this program to learn how to design it and how to launch it and work on mindset and the rest of it. Jeanna, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'll let you go back, get back to water skiing and get back to the lake so you can get back home on time. And thank you for your time, and thanks for sharing your expertise.
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
It was fun. I look forward to working with you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Monday, I guess.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.